Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen wa la udwana illa ala al-zalimin. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, in these episodes during Ramadan on daily basis, we do our best to answer your valuable questions. In order to do that, you need to call us on the following numbers, beginning with area code 002-0238-555, 248 or 249. You can also contact us by sending your emails and questions to the following email address: ask@huda.tv. I would like also to remind you with our Facebook account for those who would like to communicate with us via our Facebook. The address is on the screen as well. A few pending questions, and you can start ringing in as soon as possible, inshallah. First question was from Sharif yesterday. He asked about the zakah on trade, that he has a partnership with his friend and he's not making any money. So does he owe any zakah on that? And he also said that his friend is collecting some salary or profit, but he's not. I say, as long as you're not investing in urud al-tijara, for instance, I mean you have items for sale, because if you do have items for sale, those items, once they reach the nisab or they exceed it with themselves or besides other investment, is zakatable, whether you collect profit on that or not. But since you are offering services like a car shop and it's only your partner who's collecting the profit, or even if you're collecting the profit but it is not much, then there's no zakah on that. When somebody has multiple businesses, the best way to do it is by the end of the year. Some people set their annual zakah payment in the beginning of Ramadan or in the middle of Ramadan, some in Arafah, some in Ashura. Okay? I would like to sort this out and explain that. How do we determine the date on which we should pay the zakah? It is not by chance, it is not because I love this month and I like this date and it suits whatever. No, it is the day that you started possessing the nisab, the minimum amount which is zakatable, the equivalent of 85 gram of gold or 595 gram of silver, whichever rate or value is lesser, because this is more useful for the poor. Sometimes silver, this amount is cheaper. The 595 gram of silver may be cheaper than the gold, and we'll go by the silver. Okay? Because this is better for the poor. So once you possess this, it happened to be in Muharram. Then you maintain this and you earn some more money and you add it to it and from different sources. Muharram of the next year, now we have double or triple the nisab. Then the entire amount is zakatable, including the nisab itself and including what you paid zakah for it last year as well. Some people are under the assumption that you pay the zakah on certain amount of money once and you don't duplicate it next year. No, of course not. You pay it annually as long as you still possess the nisab or more than the nisab, whether in the form of gold, silver, cash, investment, stocks, or trades, which is known as urud al-tijara. Somebody has a shop, he's selling cheese and jam and bread and coke and all of that. Then the time on which he's supposed to pay the zakah is, for instance, the beginning of Ramadan. Towards the ends of Sha'ban, he should audit everything that he possesses and see how much goods he still have, and the prices, I'm talking about the retail prices, because he's selling in retail. If you're selling wholesale, then we'll value them according to the wholesale price, estimating how much is the value of what you possess right now, which is for sale, and then you pay the zakat on the entire amount. Okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Amir from United Arab Emirates.
Sheikh, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm just fine, alhamdulillah, shukla, enjoying my Ramadan, praying for the entire ummah, just extremely worried about Muslims in Burma, and Muslims in Syria and other parts of the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them strength, victory and peace.
Ameen. Sheikh, I have 3 questions and I will ask them quickly. I called on Sunday and I think the questions have not been addressed. The first question is about zakat money and giving it to an Islamic school so they can carry out free education for the general public. That's the first question. The second is again related to zakat, giving it to poor parents so they can marry off their daughter, get some household goods which they can give to their daughter.
Okay,
And
the poor parents, Amir, the poor parents are the persons who's paying the zakah's parents?
No, they're not the parents.
Okay.
They're not related at all.
Okay.
All right. The third question is, can we recite Quranic verse such as Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar in sujood?
Okay. I'll begin by answering your 3 questions, inshallah, Amir, and thank you so much for your patience. First of all, paying zakat to schools and hospitals and paving roads is not permissible. These are public services where the state, the country, or the public fund should take care of that. But the zakah is mainly directed towards helping the poor and sufficing their basic needs. Examine the 8 categories in verse number 60 of Surah At-Tawbah. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين. They are all poor. They are all in need, with the exception of المؤلفة قلوبهم, of course. So, when I pay the zakat towards building a school, the rich and the poor's children will be studying in the school. So the poor did not get his rights from the rich. Similarly, hospitals, rich and poor will be treated there. What we can do is the following. Number 1, paying the zakat to teachers who are working in the school and are poor teachers. And poor students, I pay for their tuitions, for their book supplies and school supplies. All of that is permissible. If the school has an administration or a department is in charge for assisting the poor from the zakah fund, and they're educated in the zakah field, because some people don't just comprehend the concept of the zakah, and they may end up wasting the money or giving the money to those who do not deserve it. So giving the zakah, even to the administrator of the school, if he or she is poor, is permissible. So what determines who is eligible for the zakah is poverty, is the need, not building a school or a hospital. An orphanage. May I build an orphanage out of my zakah money or pay money towards building an orphanage? Yes, as long as this orphanage would belong to orphans, not to a righteous person or a generous person who builds a school and an orphanage and a hospital in his name. So he builds an orphanage in his name. One day if he passes away and his heirs decide to sell the orphanage and divide the money, they can do that because it's in his name. No, but whenever it becomes a waqf and it's only for the orphans, yes, you may build an orphanage because they are poor. So the catch is that the recipients have to be poor. Paying zakat to poor parents to get their daughter married. Of course, this is one of the best ways. And look what you said, the catch, poor parents. They are in need. We need to encourage the youth to get married. They don't have. So assisting them, paying them personally or paying their parents in order to prepare them to get married is also permissible and encouraged as well. It's highly recommended. Making dua in your sujood and reciting certain ayat. Now I need to ask you, what's your intention? Are you reading Quran or are you making dua? Because the Prophet ﷺ forbade reciting Quran, whether in ruku' or in sujood. But if I'm making dua and it happens to be a verse in the Quran, then there's no problem. As a matter of fact, the best form of making dua is invoking Allah the Almighty through the ayat or utilizing the ayat which have been mentioned in the Quran as invocations. As you just said, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Surah Al-Furqan, for instance. You can do that in sujood and there is no problem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abdul Ali from Morocco.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. My question is that my wife, she didn't eat her pregnancy medicines last night at suhoor time.
Now,
And she was too worried to continue the day without these vitamins because she's...
okay, I guess I got your question, Abdul Ali. No problem, inshallah. And the part that you mentioned should be sufficient. Expect the answer, inshallah. Brother Muhammad from Egypt, assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كل سنة وأنت طيب يا شيخ.
Could you raise your voice a little bit, please?
السلام عليكم يا شيخ.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أنت طيب.
I'm sorry?
I said كل سنة أنت طيب.
And thank you so much, and you too.
Yeah, Sheikh, I have a question regarding giving out sadaqah.
Yeah.
If, for example, you give out sadaqah, yani with the intention of giving out sadaqah, then there's someone maybe beside you, a friend or someone, maybe after giving out the sadaqah, then he asks you, yani, how much did you give so and so person? And maybe you told him, then he tells you it's too much or something, you know, and then after that you started having this thought, okay, is it too much, or, and maybe the person he gave the money to, the person he gave the sadaqah to did not appreciate it well.
I have a question in the first place, Muhammad, to ask. If somebody asks you, how much did you give him, what would you say? Why do you have to tell him?
Maybe the person was right beside you, and the reason why I actually answered the person was because the person I gave the sadaqah to kind of insulted me, you know? So he now asked me, how much did you give the person? So I said, so and so. So he said, okay, you see, you gave him so and so, and he insulted you, or she insulted you. That
So
was
the person whom you gave him a charity insulted you?
Yeah, after giving him, yeah.
You know why did this happen?
No.
Because you gave to a street beggar. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, don't do that again.
Okay.
And I address this repeatedly. We need to locate the eligible poor people, not the street beggars. Street beggars are professional. They're very rich. They're very rich people. They take this as a profession. And you know what encourages them to proceed on is people like yourself and me in the past. I used to cry every day that my dad would take me for Fajr and I see beggars right and left. I used to cry. My heart would be broken. But I didn't know. Then one day, one of them died, and they found in his duffel bag tons of money, a lot of money. So he is not begging to survive, to eat and drink as they claim, no. And every day we meet people like that. Somebody who wants to, just the other day somebody came to my house and he wants to buy a ticket to go to France. You know. So please, the beggars, the street beggars, avoid giving them anything. There are official organizations whom I vouch for their credibility. You're calling from Egypt. There is an organization called Al-Jam'iyyah Al-Shar'iyyah. There are many organizations. His Eminence Sheikh Abu Ishaq Al-Huwaini, may Allah have mercy on him. Yesterday, he talked to me and he said he started his own charity organizations, which would definitely be the best mean to spend your zakat. Just to give this organization your zakah, your charity, and that's it. They sponsor students, they provide for poor, they get the orphans married and take care of widows. So a trustworthy organization and an official organization is the best. Put your zakat there and never mind. If you have some change and you're given this right and left, fine. But unfortunately, we do encourage people, like when you give 5 guinea for instance, he looks at you and he may insult you. Perhaps you're driving a BMW, that's why. So I'm not asking you to change your car, rather I'm asking you to change your attitude of giving sadaqah to those who really deserve it. Barakallah fiqh Muhammad. Thank you. Asim from Iraq.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, very good. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah. How is the situation in Iraq now?
Yeah, actually I'm from Pakistan, but I'm working here in Iraq. Situation is yesterday, in the Baghdad it has 111 people. They died again because of this suicide blast. And the situation, and it's not good.
SubhanAllah. What kind of freedom that the West brought to Iraq? What kind of democracy that America brought to Iraq?
Actually, for me, I'm working in an organization, and I used to go out after 45 days, and because I'm an expat here, and for me, alhamdulillah, just to share with you that I am working in Karbala city, and I am the only one, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, among 1,300 employees having the beard here. So, so it's some sort of a thing that. For all the people, they look me that with the same, because of the situation here, it's not so good, so they think me of the same. But alhamdulillah, because of the attitude and because of the doubt and all this perspective, so alhamdulillah, I'm very much accepted here among them and respected here as well by the grace of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Asim, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Sheikh, I just want to ask about for example, the length of a beard, and secondly, there was mustaches, the beard, and there's some small, in between, below the lips. So I just want to ask, that shall we cut this, is it a part of a beard or what?
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yeah, I do. I do have a beard too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not about
I should understand the question. Nah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Jazakallah.
You're asking about this part beneath the lower lip. This is a part of the beard and it shouldn't be shaved. This is a part of the beard and shouldn't be shaved. As far as the length of the beard, the Sahaba Radwanullahi alayhim narrated that the Prophet ﷺ would be leading the prayer and reciting, and they would tell whether he's reading or not, reciting or not, through the move of his beard, which indicates that it was thick, long and big. There are some companions such as Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, who permitted trimming the beard after the length of one fist. Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, please try again. Abdul Ali from Morocco. His wife has forgotten to take her pregnancy medication and she's a bit worried. You can contact your doctor and says, is it really serious? Shall I break my fast? If she says yes, you have to break your fast in order to take the medication or drink plenty of water. Then break your fast and there is no blame on you. You just have to make up the day or those days after Ramadan, after you give birth, after you finish the breastfeeding, or whatever you are capable to fast, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. This command is laid down clearly upon saying those who are either sick or traveling. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. So you make up whenever you are capable, insha'Allah Azza Jal. Otherwise, if it is not serious, there is nothing better than fasting the time of fasting during Ramadan. Why? Because when the person knows that I gotta make it up anyway, I have to fast anyway, right? If I don't fast today in Ramadan, I will have to make it up some other day. But I missed the nobility of time. Fasting during Ramadan is very, very special. Barakallah fikum. Sarah from the KSA, please explain the meaning of the verse of Surah Ibrahim, verse number 41. This is a dua in which Ibrahim alayhi salam says, رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ, which means, our Lord, forgive me my sins, and forgive my parents or foreparents. Okay? Because Ibrahim's father was a disbeliever. And after he promised him to seek forgiveness for him, لَأَسْتَغْفِرَنَّ لَكَ وَمَا أَمْلِكُ لَكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. Yet I do not own anything to support you with. If Allah doesn't want to forgive you, I cannot avail you an art. This is what Ibrahim alayhi salam said to his father. Then when his father died as a disbeliever, he stopped seeking forgiveness for his father. And he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَلَمَّا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ أَنَّهُ عَدُوٌّ لِلَّهِ تَبَرَّأَ مِنْهُ. وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and forgive the believers, all of them. And this is a very interesting dua, because each single member of this ummah, when you pray for them, you get thawab or reward equivalent to the number of the believers. Do not forget this dua in your sujood. رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ, on the day of reckoning, on the day of judgment. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yasmin from Mauritius.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan Mubarak.
And to you, to sister, and to your family. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair. I want to ask a question.
Now,
what is the difference between a mu'min and a muhsin?
Al-Mu'minin and Al-Muhsinin. Okay,
Yeah.
inshallah, I will answer you. Okay, any other
That's all.
questions?
Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
You're most welcome, Sister Yasmin. Barakallah fiqh. Brother Amir from United Arab Emirates.
Shaykh, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shaykh, I got the answer you just gave. I probably was not able to clarify my question earlier on about the Islamic school. The specific question is that the organization already has and is running a school. It's a madrasa.
Now,
And they want to, instead of renting it out and paying the rent money, they want to collect some money and build and construct the school themselves. So
No.
they don't have to spend the money on rental.
now,
So my question is, can zakat be given to construct this building?
and my answer is still the same. My
Okay.
answer is still the same. Hasn't changed, because that we want to buy the school or construct a school better than renting a school. In this school, Brother Amir, is your children and my children, rich and poor. So the beneficiary is both. I end up paying zakat for myself. Why shouldn't we pay zakat to our parents? Because we are beneficiaries. Because we're supposed to support our parents financially and suffice their needs. So if I end up paying zakat to my children or to my parents, I didn't do anything. But brothers and sisters, maybe if I don't have ears like children, because I don't have to spend on them. It's just recommended. For schools, if this school is only for the poor, fine. And it's a waqf. Accepts the children of the rich? No. Because rich people will be utilizing the poor's money. And the zakah is different than the voluntary charity. Zakah has certain categories. It should be spent towards what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already determined. Barakallah fikum. Ismail from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, Ismail.
وعليكم السلام كيف حالك يا شيخ؟
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
How's Ramadan? Hello?
Naam. Go ahead if you have any questions, Ismail, please.
Yeah, I think I have two questions.
Naam.
Concerning muamalat. I have this friend of mine who's into this business of the charge card.
Who is?
A friend of mine used to sell the charge card. So as students, we used to call him from time to time, and he would transfer some credit to us. And after, at the end of the month, we used to calculate the money that we owed him, and we used to pay him back. So unfortunately, just 2 days ago, I was traveling back for holiday back home. So I didn't have the time to give him the money. So I called him and asked him, how much do I owe you? And he told me that I consumed 30 pounds for charge card.
Now,
So I told him that if I have the time today, because I'm leaving for today, inshallah, if I have the time today, I'll be coming to give you the money. And if I don't have the time, I will scratch 30 pounds for charge card and I will send it back to you. And all my friends listened and they started yelling at me, and this is not cool, this is not good. So after some minutes, I felt bad, and I did not scratch this card, and I gave one of my friends to give him the money.
now.
So all I'm asking here is, was my decision of paying back to the recharge card halal, or is it wrong? This is
Okay.
my first question.
Okay, your second question, Ismail.
Yes. And my second question is concerning salah. Payback, salah. Like if you miss 1 rak'at or 2 rak'at. Oh, I had a scholar that told me that when I'm paying back, I don't have to recite it, the Fatiha and the name surah in loudly. I have to do it silently.
Oh, all the salah you mean? Or you're asking about the secret salah to be recited secretly and the loud prayer that you may recite out loud?
Yes, the loud prayer, like
So they say the loud prayer you have to recite secret. Okay, got your question. Thank you, Ismail from Nigeria. Safiya from Oman. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Safiya.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, thank you for asking.
Sheikh, I've got a question.
Now,
For example, if I want to give my life savings for Awqaf to Huda TV to do a program, a da'wah program, as a form of Awqaf, is it possible?
it is, number one, let me ask you, do you have any heirs, family members to inherit?
Yes, but it's like 1/3 of my inheritance
I
that I
understand.
want to give to this.
I'm sorry, do you have any children?
No.
Okay, you don't have any heirs to, after a
I've
long
got-
life. I'm sorry?
I've got brothers and sisters and a father.
Okay. If you want to give whatever you want to give in your life to Huda, to any organization, it is permissible. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq donated his entire wealth while he was alive, and the Prophet ﷺ approved that. Umar ibn Khattab donated half of his wealth, and the Prophet ﷺ approved that. But if the person were to write a wasiyah or a will and say, after a long life, if I pass away, my entire life saving is for Huda TV, Huda TV will tell you no. If you have heirs, brothers and sisters, some people to inherit will say, we can only get 1/3.
Yes.
Because the wasiyah or the will after death is in only 1/3. So we'll say, as Huda TV or as beneficiary or whatever, we'll say, thank you so much. The heirs take the rest, and we only get 1/3 as the Prophet ﷺ approved. In the sound hadith which is collected by Imam al-Bukhari, when he said to Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, when he said, should I give my entire wealth? He said, no. Have, no. 2/3, no. And finally he said, فَبِالثُّلُث قَالَ نَعَمْ وَالثُّلُثُ كَثِيرٌ. You see the difference, Sister Sophia, now? So in your lifetime, you want to give whatever? No restriction, no problem. If you want to write a wasiyah, then it should be only within 1/3. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and reward you the best for your good intention. Barakallah fikum. Brothers and sisters, we're going to take a short break, and inshallah in a couple of minutes we'll get back to you, so stay tuned.
Can't do that because you do not know what to say to them sometimes. At least you raise up your hand and ask Allah, oh Allah, please give guidance to this brother of mine. The importance of following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To follow our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam means you must understand his sunnah. Adinu yusrun, Islam is a very easy religion, simple religion. So don't make religion difficult to yourself. I believe this hadith is very common to all of us. But the beauty part of this hadith, number one, it started by Umar al-Khattab saying, Sami'tu. Now again, I'd like to share with the brother and sister to understand the beauty of this saying of the companion.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear viewers from around the world, to our exciting program titled Good Answer. I'm your host Malik, and I'm joined by the Imam of America, the founder of Guide Us TV. He needs no further introduction. I think you know who I'm talking about, Sheikh Yusuf Estes. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum, Malik. My name is Ayman, and I think a lot of people would like to know, a lot of non-Muslims would like to know who Prophet Muhammad was.
We worship the God that he worshipped. And we worship that God the way he worshipped. So we consider Islam to be a way or a deen.
Right.
Anywhere. But that had never been before. He said this is a gift, never came before, that me and my followers, we can make our salah, our connection, anywhere.
Hey, Sheikh, you're on the hot seat. I like my seat over here. I'm feeling comfortable. Because he asked you a tough question. He asked you a good question. Can you give him a good answer?
Islam my deen, Allah my Lord, His word Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Quick reminder with our phone numbers. Area code 002-0238-555, 248 or 249, and the email address is ask@huda.tv. Sister Yasmin from Mauritius inquired about the difference between mu'mineen and muhsineen. And that would lead us to understand Iman and Ihsan. And all of that has been explained in details in the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam. This is like a cornerstone in Aqidah. When Angel Gabriel came to the Prophet ﷺ disguising as a human being and said, "O Muhammad, inform me about Islam." He said, the 5 pillars, to testify that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is a messenger, to pray, to fast, to give alms, and to perform Hajj. He said, then inform me about Iman. He said, Iman, and you will become a mu'min, singular of mu'mineen, if you fulfill the following: to believe in Allah, in His books, in His messengers, and in His angels, in the last day, and His preordainment or the divine destiny. 6 articles. 5 pillars for Islam, 6 articles for Iman. They said, what about Ihsan? If the person does Ihsan, he becomes a muhsin, singular of muhsineen. So now we know mu'mineen, and now Ihsan is to worship Allah as though you're seeing Him, and if you cannot see Him, He sees you. So basically, Islam is like a pyramid. The base and the foundation is the 5 pillars of the deen. And then above that is the concept of believing in the 6 articles of faith. And no one can become a Muslim if he does not believe in the 6 entire articles of faith. But when he perfects that, he becomes a perfect mu'min. It's a higher level. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل بل قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم. In Surah Al-Hujurat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticized that how the Bedouins who were new to Islam and they did not really digest Islam properly and entirely said, we are mu'mineen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, nay, rather just say that you are Muslimin. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. And when the Iman settles in your heart, Iman encompasses a lot of great qualities. Putting your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, loving no one more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, including yourself, giving precedence to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. When the person asks, is it really recommended, do I have to, is it disliked or is it haram? Because if it is not haram and it's only disliked, I don't mind doing it. Then you have to check on your heart. there is a problem with the iman. But the mu'min, they have many beautiful traits in the Quran. نَمَا كَانَ قَوْلَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذَا دُعُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. The ayah says, whenever the true believers are invited to a command that has been issued by Allah or His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that they say, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. أي يقولوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. They do not argue, they do not discuss it, they do not say why, and and the time is not the right time, like Bani Israel and how they gave Musa alayhi salam a very hard time. Every time Allah gives them a command with Musa alayhi salam, they argue with him until Allah made it very difficult and terrible for them. But the mu'mineen, the true mu'mineen, they don't argue. This is from Allah, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. Al-Ihsan is the top of the pyramid and is the best and the greatest quality. And not everybody can achieve the quality of Al-Ihsan. A muhsin is a person whom, whenever he is in private or in public, is the same. When he locks himself behind closed doors, he's the same like he's sitting in the masjid. Why? Because he knows Allah is watching me here and Allah is watching me in the masjid. It's to worship Allah as though you're seeing Him, like you can actually visualize Allah. And in reality we cannot. But Al-Ihsan will take you to the level of watching Allah. Watching your deeds as if you're watching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Watching what you do as if Allah is right in front of you and you can see Him. And if you fail to achieve this level, then you have to understand and comprehend the fact that Allah is seeing you throughout the entire time. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Amin from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Naam.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak to you too, sister. Thank you so much.
Yes, Jazakallah.
Wa jazakum.
I have two questions, Sheikh. If a person is involved in working in riba, is he fasting is valid? Will Allah forgive him? He's in process of searching for another job, but currently he's fasting, and will his fast be accepted? And for this particular matter, we have been making dua continuously, and the cause is good, and the intention is good. By things are not working out, means still Allah has some wisdom for not making the path right, not giving halal means.
Yeah.
I
Okay, I got your question, Ayman. Barakallah fiqh. Ayman, I truly could sense sincerity from your voice. And this something can easily be determined when the person is sincere or not. Of course, riba is one of the worst crimes and the major sins in Islam. And it causes destruction to the person in this life and in the hereafter. And it ruins his wealth and his children and his family, and it ruins the entire society. We spoke about that enough to remember that I would rather starve and not eat from riba, or work in a conventional bank where I earn my salary as a result of dealing with riba, or invest my money or save my money in a riba-based bank. But when somebody was in this situation and now he is eager to repent, anxiously waiting for any moment to find another job or another opening, then his sincere in his intention, Allah will find a way out for him. And as far as the fiqh question, would that affect the siyam as far as the thawab and the reward? It does. But how? I don't know. But whether it is valid or not, fasting will be valid if the person withheld himself or herself from eating, drinking, and having sexual contact from dawn till sunset. There are sins which affect the reward of fasting. And by the end, by committing that many sins, and we have on the other hand the reward of fasting, they can waive each other. So please, at iftar, at the time of breaking your fast, the Prophet ﷺ said, there is for each fasting person one da'wah, one dua, one prayer, one invocation, one supplication that will not be rejected. If this is your concern, every day at the time of breaking your fast, and say, oh Allah, find a way out for me. Oh Allah, take me out of riba. Oh Allah, find a lawful job for me. Oh Allah, feed me from halal and make me avoid eating from haram, and so on. And I'm so certain if you're sincere in your dua, maybe before the end of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will find you an alternative, a halal alternative. Of course, this is not only for Amin, but for every person who is in a situation like that. We've tried that, we trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it does work. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Madiha from the KSA.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, I want to ask, I was just listening to a lecture about Seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in that, when he was talking about the Meccan period, he said that the Muslims were united even in the Meccan period under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I've asked my sisters and who are knowledgeable that they usually compare our current time to the time of the Meccan period. Even when it comes to doing da'wah, they say we should apply the same methodology as in the Meccan period. So I had this doubt that we are still not under one leadership, even though we are in Meccan period or Medina period. So how do we apply this that we come to know from the Seerah?
طيب, okay. Barakallah fiki Madiha. Thank you so much. Very valuable question. Abu Bakr from United Arab Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum, Ya Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ya Sheikh, my question is regarding a person who lost his life. People are saying whenever somebody kills somebody, if the deceased has done anything wrong, all the wrongs will be transferred to the person who killed him. Is that true? Yeah, Sheikh.
Now, next question.
No, that's my only question.
Okay. So you're asking, when a murderer kills a person, whether the person who's killed without any justification, that his sins will go back to the murderer. It's even much greater than that. Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, if this is the only thing that worries you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَقْتُلْ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمُ خَالِدًا فِيهَا وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَلَعْنَهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا. I cannot just count how many complications and punishment, severe torment that Allah has prepared. A person cannot just comprehend it. It's very severe. وَمَنْ يَقْتُلْ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمُ. Number one, the punishment for the person is Jahannam, the fire of hell, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. خَالِدًا فِيهَا, to reside therein eternally. وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ, and Allah is angry with him. Allah's wrath will be cast upon him. وَلَعَنَهُ, and Allah will curse him. وَأَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا, and Allah has prepared for him a huge torment in the fire of hell. What is this? For what? For killing a single Muslim. Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, once he was performing tawaf and he looked at the Kaaba and said, مَا أَعْظَمَكِ, how great you are. And وَمَا أَعْظَمَ حُرْمَتَكِ, and how great is your sacredness and holiness. Yet, by Allah, the blood of a Muslim is much greater and sacred than you, than the Kaaba. لَزَوَالُ الدُّنْيَا أَهْوَنُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. The demolish of the entire dunya and what it contains is lighter than shedding the blood of a single Muslim. The blood of a Muslim is very sacred. So that's why this is one thing. As far as your question and its answer. In one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, أَتَدْرُونَ مَنِ الْمُفْلِسِ, do you know who is the bankrupt? They said the bankrupt is the one who is bankrupt. Is the one who doesn't have any money. The one who doesn't have dirham nor dinar, he's broke. The Prophet ﷺ said, no. The real bankrupt is the one who comes on the day of judgment with mountains of good deeds. So why would he be bankrupt then? وَيَأْتِي وَقَدْ شَتَمَ هَذَا وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا. And meanwhile, he comes with mountains of good deeds, but in the dunya, he has insulted such and such person, and killed that person, and backbited that person, and hurt the feeling of that person. So they all come on the Day of Judgment asking for their rights. Okay, he wants to settle their cases with him, but no money will benefit. Even if he possesses the entire world, has turned into gold, and he is ready to give it as a ransom, it will not be accepted. فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمْ مِلْءُ الْأَرْضِ ذَهَبًا وَلَوْ افْتَدَى بِهِ. And both are impossible. So, how will the cases be settled? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, to the oppressed ones, those who have been killed, or the blood was shed by this person, or even lesser, those who have been backbited, slandered by this person, hurt, been beaten by the person, oppressed by the person, take your rights from his good deeds. Let's start taking from his good deeds. And eventually his deeds, the mountains of the hasanat will vanish. The angels will say, oh Allah, khalas, it's over. He doesn't have any balance of good deeds. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, take from the bad deeds of the oppressed ones and cast it upon him. This is the answer to your question. And eventually he will end up in fire. That's why Tawbah has conditions. To quit, to regret, to make a promise that you will not commit the sin again, to beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. And if the sin involves a third party, a human right for instance, to go to the person and say, please forgive me. I erred, I'm sorry, I will not do it again. I will do anything so that you forgive me. And I hope to remember to begin tomorrow inshallah with this concept in the beginning of tomorrow's episode, because we already ran out of time. So until tomorrow, I leave you in the care of Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest.